The writer was speaking with a reliable source to get the lowdown on the underdogs ahead of Georgia's first tournament since the nation's 1991 Declaration of Independence from the Soviet Union. We stopped them cold when we questioned them about the virtues of Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, the star of Paris Saint-Germain. When asked to wax poetic about the then Napoli wizard, who has since gone and won the Champions League with the French giants, they quickly interrupted, saying, "No, no, no." The quote that stayed in my memory was, "Kvara is obviously the poster boy, but we are just as reliant on Giorgi, the Valenciano goalkeeper." Most Premier League supporters would not have heard of Giorgi Mamardashvili back in June of last year and would have projected Georgia would finish with 0 points at the Euros. But already, executives from numerous elite clubs and European competitors were vying for his services. Among them were Barcelona and Chelsea, and oddly enough, when Mamardashvili, who is 6'6", makes his Premier League debut, the Blues will be Liverpool's opponents. After spotting him and doing their research prior to the Euros, Liverpool was the first to act, knowing that if they waited, he would no longer be available. Mamardashvili's reputation was rising as Georgia's best player at the tournament. The Minnows, led by former France and Bayern Munich defender Willy Sagnol, defied all odds to advance to the knockout stage. In order to acquire experience, Mamardashvili stayed at Valencia after Reds sporting director Richard Hughes reached an agreement with them that said, "We will sign him, but the transfer will not go through for a year." According to reports, Hughes thought about loaning Mamardashvili to Bournemouth to gain Premier League experience, but ultimately concluded that staying in La Liga would help him grow more. The deal was recorded in this summer's financial statements, and a fee of £29 million was paid. Mamardashvili, 25, aware that the Brazilian is still number one, when asked last year why he did not relocate sooner, he simply said, "Alisson." This was an exercise in future-proofing, mending the roof while the sun was shining, and it came with Alisson's blessing. An unspoken pact between Liverpool and Kawim Kelleher, their former number 2 keeper, stated that the Irishman could go to pursue regular play if a club could afford it. This summer he did just that when Brentford paid £18 million for him. Despite being regarded by Liverpool as the best goalkeeper in the world, Alisson is prone to injuries. He missed 10 Premier League games last season, the same number as the previous year. Kelleher played 46 games in all competitions during those 2 seasons, so Mamardashvili will know that he is signed to play a significant role now with the goal of wearing the number 1 jersey in the future, not to sit on the bench for 2 years while waiting for Alisson's contract to expire. Giorgi is not at Alisson's level yet, but he is only getting better. "He is commanding," said David Webb, Georgia's assistant manager, who shares Liverpool's belief that he can be their number 1. You can draw comparisons when you look at someone like Gianluigi Donnarumma, who is huge, presence-driven, and an exceptional goalkeeper. He himself, Mamardashvili, is very clear about what he wants. He knew he wanted to play in the Premier League while at Valencia. He knows he won't be first choice just yet, but he needs to be prepared if opportunities arise. Alisson is ready now. On Thursday, he celebrated his 33rd birthday by undergoing scans on a hamstring injury, which showed that he will be out for over a month. The Brazilian is expected to miss 8 games, including Liverpool's matches against Manchester City and Real Madrid. Georgia is buzzing. Mamardashvili's major break at Valencia also came after a lucky break, when their number 2 goalkeeper caught COVID after number 1 Jasper Cillessen was injured. He never made the cut at Georgia's most successful club, Dinamo Tbilisi, and was forced to go out on loan, where scouts saw him playing for Lokomotiv Tbilisi. In fact, his whole career has been about punching above his weight when unfancied. According to Luka Lagvilava, who is located in Tbilisi and manages the Georgia football page on X, Valencia offered him a contract to be part of their B team, but by luck, he soon got called into the 11. No one ever expected him to be first choice for Georgia at that time, but it worked out very well. This is a fantastic moment for Georgian football fans. As you may recall, Giorgi Mamardashvili and Temur Ketsbaya were notorious for kicking the billboards at Newcastle. However, that team never united for us on the national stage, and we have struggled ever since. It's the perfect time to watch Georgian football since we earned our independence. Nevertheless, because of this generation's Villarreal squad, which features outstanding players like George Mamardashvili and Kvara. Mamardashvili still needs to improve. His primary shortcoming is his ability to play out from the back, but he demonstrated his skills at the Euros, and I don't see many better shot stoppers in the Premier League. Now is Mamardashvili's chance to prove himself in the Premier League pressure cooker. Alisson has already saved Liverpool multiple times this season, as the team's poor performances have been covered by the results. It was September 2023 when he first stood out to me at my first Georgia camp. It was straight away because he had that presence in goal. He really stood out. He's a very good communicator, good talker, and a very good shot stopper. I got to know him personally through one-on-one sessions, and I realized he was a strong, practical individual with excellent English skills and was highly motivated. He can handle pressure in crucial situations, is calm in his personal life, dedicated and knowledgeable about the game. He really came into his own during the Euros, and I felt he could play at the highest level at that point. His primary focus is playing football. He is serious and professional and wants to reach the highest level possible in the game. He's very, very ambitious and very settled off the pitch, which keeps him grounded. Back home, rugby union remains Georgia's most popular sport. The Lellos have advanced to every World Cup since 2003 and won some spectacular matches. And their passion for the game stems from their refusal to accept Moscow's attempt to force football on the population. The establishment of Mamardashvili's first club, Dinamo Tbilisi, resulted from Joseph Stalin's right-hand man, Lavrentiy Beria's desire to keep secret police officers in shape through football, which was characterized as a bourgeois sport. However, Mamardashvili and the glitzy Kvaratskhelia, who has been predicted to win a future Ballon d'Or, are at the forefront of football's ascent, and it is believed that Mamardashvili could eventually overtake Alisson as Liverpool's number one. As he makes his Premier League debut after playing against Southampton in the Carabao Cup last month, a few more Tbilisi TVs than usual will be tuned in to events at Stamford Bridge this evening. It's no wonder that the Georgians love seeing this generation play across Europe. Liverpool manager Arne Slot stated yesterday, "I think we've seen how well he's adjusted against Southampton. We knew we were bringing in a very good goalkeeper, but when he plays his first game, that's always the best way to see if he's adjusted well or not. He's adapted very well to our goal, which is not surprising given that he's a good goalkeeper. He can now replace Alisson, hopefully in the same way that Kawin did so many times before." The bigger question is whether Mamardashvili is the right man to replace Alisson, who is regarded by Liverpool and thousands of people back home as the best goalkeeper in the Premier League in the long term. Mamardashvili will certainly replace the Brazilian number one at Chelsea today and in the weeks to come.